No? Yeah, we do, right? It's automatic. We're gonna find out. If they can't hear me, then we have to go to earbuds. Is that right? Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah,
I can hear you. Okay, good.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? I need some new dance moves. We're getting started. Hey, everybody. Mana, mana. Dee, 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 dee. Mana, mana. Dee, 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 dee. Mana, mana. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome to Tuesday.
Is that open?
I've got a halo today. Trying to look. Okay, we see some eyeballs popping on. Mana, mana. Dee, dee. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday Live. Oh, I didn't get set up. So we have the same technical issues today we've had just in terms of not having all our equipment. Good morning, Leanne. She says, I see you on Facebook and YouTube. So we have some weird things with answering questions. Hi, everybody. I'm going to put on my glasses and zoom myself in here. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're all here. Boy, people are just popping on like crazy. Good morning, Cheryl from stormy, rainy California. Boy, the weather is crazy. Happy holidays to all of you as well. I hope you're having just an amazing little holiday season with your friends and family. If you're getting some crafting time in, I did some little crafting tasks for the last couple of days. Just really been enjoying doing that as well. You know, we have a little craft club that my mom and I do, and my mom was like, hey, it's your job to do these things for craft club. Usually we do it together, but she's in California, so she wants to make sure, hey, that I get all my work done. So I've been on that mission. So hopefully all of you have found some crafting time too during this little break. And I think welcome to those of you who can't usually join us. I know a lot of you are off work today, have this week off for the holiday, and you don't usually get to join us for a live. So welcome to all of you who are here for a live when you can't actually be here. So because of the weirdness with the feed, it's tough for Susie and Leanne to keep up with questions. So if you ask a question early and it doesn't get answered, feel free to repost it again. Again, if you put all question marks, like 6 question marks in front of your question or the word question in all caps, it makes it easier for Susie and Leanne to catch that in the feed and then let me know what you have going on. So there is not a lot to report today because the UK team, like all the questions that got asked last week, the UK team has been on vacation, and they are on vacation until like the 3rd. So unfortunately, questions that I say, I got to talk to somebody else about that, those are all going to be delayed until next week. So I apologize for that.
And we're so jealous.
I know, and we are jealous that they get those long vacation things. I also wanted to tell you that I asked Leanne, our customer service Leanne here at Totally Tiffany, to send some pictures of her family so I could share them with you. But because it's the technology setup, I can't put those up on the screen today. So I am going to share those next week. So all of you will get a peek at Leanne and her beautiful family. And yeah, so that was on my list of things to share. Also, remember, you have to comment to win. So if you have, if you want to win the $25 gift certificate this week, you need to get in the comment screen, and then Leanne throws all the names in a hat and she'll choose one. I see a big thing popping up here. I can't read that, but Leanne and Susie will pop up questions when they come up. I did have one question that came in from Leanne, a customer service from Nancy W. And she said, I have thicker sticker sheets and they are larger than the largest slide stash and store. Can you suggest another place I can store them? They are 14 1/4 by 5.75. Thanks in advance, Nancy. So, stickers. I'm gonna pop back here with some stickers in it, I thought. So this is the Kiwi Lane box. And I think, Nancy, if you're measuring your thickers with the package, I think that might be the measurement that you are giving us. Oh no, these are only 13. So they must be a different. So 14.25. They are larger than the Slide Fashion store. I think Leanne is right. Leanne said, I'm thinking the 3-ring album storage box could be an option for her. So the 3-ring album storage box is this guy, but the problem is that they're only 6 inches tall, right? 5 3/4. So they probably would fit in here. And I believe this guy's 15. You know what else would work really well? Oh no, because, so this box is 15 by 13. So that's gonna give you a lot of extra space. 14.25. You know what would probably work best, I'm thinking, is to use the vertical double scrap rack page. And Susie, can you hand me one of those binders right down here, the zipper binders? Let me see if they're tall enough before I say this. So, always with the measuring tape, right? Always with the measuring tape. All right. So what you could do is you could use, it looks like, the vertical double page, which is this guy. Right. So this is 6 inches wide by 12.5 tall, but you've got this extra space right here. So if you left, and you can leave your stickers sticking out of the top, like tuck the flap behind, one-handed here. And then they're going to stick out the top, but they'll fit in the binder still because you have all this extra space. So that might be the best option for something that, just because of that length. Like I've not seen those that long. I know the thicker sticker people too. I'm gonna say, hey Chastity, what are you guys doing making things that long? They don't fit. It doesn't fit anything. So I think that's probably your best option, at least from the Totally Tiffany line. You know, the other option would be to use one of these guys. I don't know how sturdy they are. I guess some of mine are really sturdy on, so that's probably not as good of an option. So this is the A4 paper taker. It's 13 inches tall, but you could leave them, you know, just standing up, right, in this. And you're still gonna have a lot of extra space in there, but it would work for them to go vertically in here, or even if you lay this on its side, right, and then they're gonna stick out and you could literally like file through them as they're sticking out the side. So this might work also. So this is the A4 8.5 by 11 paper. That might be an option. You know, the other thing, and then hit the 13. So I think that's probably the best. I wish I had a better solution for you, but that's a weird size. The thicker people are in trouble now. All right, let's see. Out of focus video says, you said you store your wrapping tissue in Kiwi Lane. Do you just fold it, or do you do something special with it to make it pull out easily? Thank you, Liz from Maryland. Can you get me, scrap for me, Susie, the Kiwi Lane box that has the tissue paper in it? Down, I think, one shelf up, maybe. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right. No, that's not it.
Wait.
Ta-da! So different tissue paper comes folded different ways. Now, I use a lot of tissue paper for crafting, but this is kind of the standard fold for tissue, right? I think I have some in the package even right here. Right? So it kind of comes folded like this. all folded up. I tend to unfold it, like take it out of the package. Oh, here's some more, right? And and separate it. So like these come, I don't know, there's four different sheets in there. I usually take it up, once I open it, I take it apart and just refold them the way that they came. Right, here's another example of that. So that I have all the colors individually rather than them all folded together and they're easy to see. So, but once I use it, like a lot of this has been used for crafting. And so like this one, it's all kind of ripped up. Then I just fold them up however they're gonna fit in here and stuff it back in the box. So this was something we use at Craft Club also, so it's not even organized in the moment like I would normally have it in terms of like color or pattern organization, but that is what I do with it in the 12x6 PB Lane box. Now, these would probably also fit in in the 12x12 paper taker, not as neatly, but in the 12x12, so this is the 12x12 storage and supply case, the 2-drawer, and it would also probably fit your tissue paper and maybe even something that came in a bigger fold, right? It's also gonna fit in those drawers, and then you could label the front of the drawer like rainbow or birthday or Christmas or whatever, so that might also work. The thing that I like about the this PB Lane box is that it's easy to just kind of thumb through it and pull out the color that you want. Whereas if you had it laying flat in this tray, you'd have to kind of pick it all up and flip through it. Not that that's the end of the world, but I like everything as vertical as possible. So it's really easy to see and get to. So that would be the PB Lane solution right there. That's the 12x6 storage box. All right. Let's see. Danielle Pedraza said, what is best to store ribbon that is not on a roll? I have a lot of ribbon pieces that are about 24 inches. If you're using a scrap rack, I would wrap it around a card, whatever size pocket you're putting it in. So maybe it's a 4x6 piece of chipboard and you wrap it. I think there's some pictures of this, like I have a 4x6 piece of chipboard with a bunch of Halloween ribbon wrapped around it just in my scrap rack. If you're not using a scrap rack, you could still do the same thing depending on the size of storage that you're using, where you just take a piece of chipboard and wrap those 24-inch pieces around it and just tape it down. I used to use repositionable glue dots, glue burrs, is that what they were called? The kind of the, I don't know, they're kind of like a, we can try them. Do you want to hand me an earbud and we're gonna switch up our speaker system here. So sounds like so let us know if that's any clearer. Let's see. I'm going to talk a little bit and you can let me know if that.
Nothing.
Is that better?
No, nothing.
Oh, there's nothing yet. So let us
know if
that's any clearer.
Wait.
Okay. So let us know. We just switched our microphones to
Yeah.
an earbud system, so it's better.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it.
Very nice. Okay. I have a lot of ribbon pieces that are.
Uh-oh. Somebody else has just got one that says sounds great, one that says lost sound.
All
That's
right.
better idea.
Oh, it took a minute. It did take a minute. We did lose sound for a minute, so much better.
It's not so echoey. However, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm taking mine out.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we'll use the earbuds. If we don't have our new equipment by next week, which I hope we will, then we'll start with earbuds next week. So try to remember that. Ribbon. So you can wrap it around a card like just a piece of chipboard. Oftentimes the back of a 12x12 paper pad has a nice heavy duty piece of chipboard on it and you can cut it to any size. So even if you were using like a fab file to store it in, just cut that piece of chipboard so it fits in the fab file, or anything. It'll fit in anything, and then you can, depending on how you're storing, by theme, by color, whatever. I would do it that way. And like I said, I used one of those little, like it was a glue, I think it was called a Gloober. It was like a blob of glue, but it was repositionable. So, and you can also use a paper clip if you don't want to tape things down, right? So that's another option. You can just put a paper clip on the ribbon after it's wrapped around, and it'll hold it in place. So that's a great solution, and it can be cut to any size depending on what you're using, or put in a scrap rack pocket if you're using scrap rack. Okay, Facebook. Okay, that was only on Facebook. YouTube was fine. Okay, so okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about today is what's coming up next month. So there is going to be another sale day, another Craft House Day on the 4th of January. So I have my sale list here. I don't have pricing on it yet, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So if you're looking for something in particular, let me know things that you're considering buying, and I'll tell you if they're going to be on sale on the 4th. It looks like there's some Slide Stash and Store and the Deskmate Store and Clip. And one thing I was asked about last week were the Project Planner Memento Keeper binders, and there's going to be a bundle of those on sale on the 4th also. And I don't have the details. I just have the product list, so I'm not sure what those deals are going to be like. I think a lot of this stuff next week is going to be partnered up with Crafter's Companion supplies. So you might get a free paper pad or free pair of scissors or something like that in the bundles next week. So there'll be some extra goodies in there as well. Cami Trussell says, did I see on a live the storage drawers were going to come out in a deeper size? They're going to come in a smaller size. So the Slide Stash and Store, these guys are 13 inches long now. Great for open shelving or lower cabinetry, but too long for upper cabinetry. So they will all be coming out in a 10-inch depth, I think late spring of this year. Let's see. Stacy says, can you post? Oh, it went too fast. Can you post the list
without the prices? Pretty please.
Even without the prices. Okay, here's the weird thing about the list. Everybody on at Crafter's Companion is gone, so getting something uploaded to the Totally Tiffany website isn't a possibility. So I'll give all you guys a heads up. I don't know if you noticed it from the shopping list I posted for the last event, but it was posted on my personal website, Life in the Wick. And so I'll do that again. I'll try to sort of clean it up, because what I get is pretty messy from Crafter's Companion, and put it up so you know what's coming. But so if you see a weird link that's like, download the shopping list and it says lifeinthewick.com/shopping list, that's okay. That's my personal website, and it's just the only place I can upload so that I can give you guys something to download. Except that I also am able to upload into the Get Organized Challenge Facebook group. Get Organized with Totally Tiffany, I think is what it's actually called. I'm able to upload into the files there. So I did that last time as well, but I know everybody's not a member and it's hard to find the files and all that kind of stuff, but I will try to put it up. I'll try to clean it up and put it in both places in the next couple of days. The other thing that's going to happen next Tuesday, the 3rd, is I'm going to have the list that Barb Carlson requested done, and I will share that next Tuesday. It may also be up at that weird link, because of course the Crafter's Companion team doesn't come back to work until Tuesday next week. So if the link is Life in the Wick, it's totally safe. That's just me in another world. But I will have that. And so what Barb brought up was like, I would like to have this list about just maintaining the tidiness and organization in my craft room. Can you help me put that list together? And I thought that was brilliant and a really easy way sort of to keep you on track once your craft room is organized. The other thing is, I promise that we will have an announcement about a GOC, a Get Organized Challenge start date. Not the 3rd, because they're not back, but by the 10th of January, I will know when the start date for the next Get Organized Challenge will be, for sure. Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Ninny Partner says, I have so many die cuts, sorted them badly in plastic sleeves. Can you show a better way? Ninny, you've got to use the 4-section system. That's all there is to it. So 4-section system, you're going to take all of this is why we need to have a Get Organized Challenge, right? We have so many new people, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm using a foreign language. So the 4-section system is not only a way to organize your brain, but a way to organize your stuff. And with something like die cuts, they're going to be grouped together by theme, holiday, sentiment. What am I missing? Themes and sentiments, calendar year, alphabets and numbers, and then the rainbow, which your die cuts that are things like tags, right, that are just a generic color, that's where those are probably going to go in your rainbow section. But other than that, and that will help you get organized. So it isn't the sleeves maybe that are the problem, right? Because I use a scrap rack, and essentially that's what that is, are, you know, pockets in pages and a giant binder system, for lack of a better word. And that works great. But the biggest thing is getting them organized by theme, holiday, sentiment, and understanding in your brain how you've set those things up, because everybody's brain works a little bit differently, but the baseline system is the same. So I'm not sure that it's your pocket pages that are the problem, except that if you're using like 8.5 by 11 pocket pages and everything's dropping to the bottom, then you may want to go with something that's a little bit more. So this is the Kiwi Lane. No, can you bring me that Kiwi Lane box that's on the rolling table right there, Suze, all the way over? Keep going, keep going. Yep, that one. You may want to use something with pockets. So this is the Kiwi Lane with pockets. So you can see this has 3 individual pockets. So these are all parts of a Christmas card making kit, right? But the same kind of idea of organizing your die cuts into pockets. It's kind of a better one with some die cut swirly goods in there. But you could do that with any size of the Totally Tiffany tab divider pockets in any one of the boxes. So for smaller dies, you want to use smaller pockets, of course. That's where the scrap rack really shines, I guess, because you can put different size pockets all together in one place. So depending on the size and scope of your die cut collection, I would say tab divider pockets, or use scrap rack pages in a binder or on a scrap rack, either way. So imagine that all of these flowers were die cut, maybe rather than flowers, because this is all just floral and bling, right? But you've got the different pocket sizes. So you would have all your Christmas die cuts, regardless of the size, in a different pocket size, so that you could see them and they would all be together, but everything's not dropping to the bottom. You're not wasting space. So, right, so you got the bigger pockets, big pockets. So the binder works great. Add a few scrap rack pages to that. But it might just be, if your system if it works in terms of holding things, you may just need to recategorize and label things so that you're working in that 4-section system. And again, the next Get Organized Challenge will be really helpful for that. You can also look up the the 4-section system on the website. Go to the blog and type in 4-section system, and there's videos and step-by-steps and all that, and that will give you a bigger understanding of how that works if you're new. Diane Riley says yarn skein storage. I don't knit, so I'm limited. This is the number 6 slide stash and store. It's got 4 basic yarn skeins in it. My mother, who does knit, this is what she's using, because she has, when you open, she has this craft closet that has shelves on 3 sides. So she's got them lined up and then color labeled. And I think she might also have, like, if they're wool or cotton or whatever, just lined up, and then she can just pull it out and choose what she wants.
it only works for this size. I mean, there's smaller ones and smaller yarn skeins. If you've got those big fluffy yarn skeins that don't fit, that are much bigger, I don't make a big enough slide stash in store for that. However, I would, if I was trying to fit that in, I would think along that same line of how can I get those things standing up instead of piled up, right? So there might be some other type of box out there that you can just purchase that's wide enough to hold the bigger ones. But whenever you can get anything going vertically so you can see it and pull that one thing out versus digging down to the bottom of something, you're going to be better off. So if you have bigger, fluffier yarn, think about whatever you're putting it in. Can you store it vertically? And I have these plastic tubs that I use for storing. I have a wall of supplies that aren't really supplies. They're props, for lack of a better word, right? Like if I need to show somebody how to fill something. And so they're just regular tubs from IKEA. They're probably 12 inches across and 13 inches deep. You could get something like that and just add in a divider in the middle out of chipboard or even just cardstock, something a little bit stiff. And then you could stand up those bigger skeins of yarn and then be able to pull them in, put them back. And again, whether you're storing them by color or type of fabric or something like that. But my advice is get them vertical in something so you don't have to dig down to the bottom to find them. And again, if you are a total yarn junkie, which I think most people who use yarn are, I mean, it's no different than paper crafting, right? You might want to start a little catalog where every time you buy yarn, you clip a little piece off the end and put it in by color or by type of, like, I don't know enough about knitting to know, other than there's wool and cotton and there's inexpensive yarn and there's cheap yarn and all that kind of stuff. But creating that catalog so that you could say, okay, I want to knit this sweater in black, and you go to your black section and there's, all the things that you have, and then you could have a label on it. This is in bin number 12. And then you could go right to that bin and find it. So that if you're a yarn junkie, the key might be not as much how you're storing, but creating a catalog that leads you to where you're going to find that yarn, wherever you put it away. And then I'm going to also suggest that you just label your yarn bins 1 through 100 or whatever it is, and not worry about keeping. If you're using that catalog, you don't need to worry about keeping yarn together by type, right? Because that creates bins that are half full and that space is empty. But if you're filling a bin and writing down the number, oh, this black wool yarn is in bin number 10. There's also a red acrylic yarn in bin number 10. Doesn't matter, because when you go to the catalog and look for black, you're going to see go to bin 10 and find it. So if you're familiar with the craziness of cataloging, I'm going to totally recommend that if you are a yarn junkie. All right, Suze, you got anything for me over there?
Any trick questions pop up on mine?
Okay, so Lynn Bledsoe says, you have mentioned cataloging your supplies. Do you ever go over the best method to catalog items? Funny that you should ask that. I am, so my crafting supplies have forever been being moved around, right? So when someone says, show me how to organize dies, I can say, okay, well, I don't know if you guys can see it. I have dies right here in my die stamp and supply organizer, and I have dies in my die file, and I have dies in my 8.5 by 11 in my boxes, and I have dies in my buddy bag. So they're everywhere, so that when someone asks me how to, for different things, I can show these different things. It's not efficient because I constantly am moving them around to fit in other things. So one of the things that's my goal in January is to pull out all of my dies. I'm going to put them all in die stamp and supply organizers, I think, because I love the open shelving. I mean, this is my dream craft room, right? I don't have to open any cupboard doors. I'm not stuffing things in and closing the doors. I can see everything really quickly. So I think in the month of January, I am going to physically get all of my dies from everywhere. Oh, Susie's like, you're in some trouble. And then do my own catalog from start to finish, right? Like I have a catalog, but because I move my dies around all the time, it's not accurate. Some of it's accurate, I guess. My die files are accurate. I don't move those dies around. But so I'm going to get on that mission. There are some videos and some step-by-steps in the blog, but it is something that I'm going to do, and I'm going to record and photograph as I go through, and then hopefully be able to put together a really good video where you actually get to see me executing the steps of getting everything organized. And so my goal is to do that in January and potentially have that available in February. And then, of course, when we do the Get Organized Challenge, we're going to talk about cataloging as well. And so for those of you who have been on board with the Get Organized Challenge before, it's going to be similar, but I've been working on revamping the whole thing and really kind of updating it and taking out things like, you know, there's different products we're not using anymore that are still talked about in there. And so I'm looking for those of you who've done it before, you'll find some, hopefully some new tips and tricks and tidbits in that. So, oh, that was a long answer to a very easy question, wasn't it? All right.
It's not a question, but it's a funny one. Jack Doyle said, did you say yard stuff? Do you make yard stuff? Do you make any signs? And Barb already commented. She's talking about yarn. Not yard.
Yarn, not yard. Yes, yarn. I don't make any yard stuff, but my husband did learn to weld, so he may be making some yard stuff. He doesn't know it yet, but it could be coming. Danelle Pedraza says, any suggestions for cataloging glitter? I have 3 huge bins full of glitter. I'm slowly moving them to Slide Session Store. I need a way to catalog, but it's glitter and I'm drawing a blank. So use if you go to the blog post, if you go to the blog and type in, you might have to help my memory on this, Barb. What are they? Peekahue. Type in peek, like P-E-E, like look, P-E-E-K -A-HUE, like color hue. There are some things called Peekahue color charts that you can use. And then I used double-sided tape. Let's see if I have one here that's like that. No. I'm gonna go get it because it'll take me 57 instructions to see if Susie can find what I'm looking for here. I don't even know that. Oh, yep, here we go. I can find one. Here it is. Okay, so this is glitter number 135 in my Peekahue chart. And so I used a double-sided tape, right? And I put a piece of it on the top of my glitter thing, and I glittered it on the top. And that way, if my glitters are standing up, like you said, in a Slide Session Store, oh, I wonder if these have it on the top. Not yet. Even though I can't see the bottle of glitter, I can actually see the color of glitter. But so I have these right now in a 6-level Stadium Arranger. But in here, it's perfect. You're just going to want to add that. And then use the Peekahue sheets and do the same thing. Just put a piece of double-sided tape down. And I just buy it from Amazon, right? I know you can get it anywhere. The least expensive place I found it is Amazon, especially if you're going to be, if you need a ton of it. And I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 little things here about double-sided tape. So when you buy it, you want to look for something that I believe it's called, I think Crafter's Companion calls it Easy Lift, actually, if you buy it from them. But some double-sided tapes, this is one of those things where you get to learn from my, I'm sure some of you already know this, you get to learn from my mistakes on things. You probably can't see in the camera, but this has sticky stuff down the middle, but the edges are not sticky, which means it's really easy to grab and pull it off, right? Grab this back piece and pull it off. But you can just cut a tiny piece, put that on the lid of your glitter or on your Peekahue sheet, and then glitter pull back the top piece and then glitter it, and it makes the glitter stick really, really well. And it's done, right? You don't have to wait for anything to dry, which is the thing that I like. This one is not Easy Lift. So the adhesive goes, maybe I have those backwards. The adhesive goes side to side on the tape. So it's a little bit easier or a little bit more difficult to peel that tape up from my bin. So the other trick, which I think I might have talked about when I discovered it, and again, you all may know this. I'm going to do another thing where I have to get off the camera for a second. Oh! You all may already know this, but one of the tricks you can do with double-sided tape is, I'm going to try and show you. I peeled this one up already. Okay. So when you stick that double-sided tape down, right? I stuck it on there. Peeling off the back, if you don't have Easy Lift, is a little more challenging. And so when I was doing this with Craft Club, I saw someone do this. I don't know who it was on the internet. They just took a straight pin and they stuck it into that backing, right? And then you can grab the backing, but not the sticky stuff, and lift it up and then pull it off. So you don't have to, oh, I didn't push that down hard enough. So it's easy. It's kind of creating your own Easy Lift by just stabbing it at the corner and pulling it up. And if you don't have fingernails or you're not wearing your glasses, it makes it easy to pull that corner off. Like I probably should put on my glasses of the tape. Okay. So I wonder why I didn't. Oh, ta-da. So now what am I going to do with that? It's going to be sticky. Stick to my shirt. So a straight pin, just pick it up at the corner and pull it back. Will make it a lot easier if you don't have Easy Lift. So Easy Lift has, the sides don't have sticky stuff on them, so they're pretty easy to peel up and peel off. So keep that in mind as you're shopping. Spend a little bit extra money for Easy Lift, or you want just a lot of tape at the best value, use a pin to lift it off the sheet. My little trick of the day. Lots of you probably know that, but I didn't know it. So, all right, let's see what else we've got here. Look, I put a pin right here. Look, here's another tip. I just put one of those straight pins right here in the Velcro of this is a Kirsten bag with all my, so the next time I don't have to go over and dig in my sewing stuff for a pin. Slow on the uptake, but eventually I get it. Lisa Frassetto Stump says, I have a problem. May not seem problematic to many. We winter in Florida for 4 months. I want to do the GOC, but I cannot take all my stuff with me. What should I concentrate on while there? Boy, that's tough. We usually start with paper, which is big and heavy. So the reason I usually start with
mom on video, she could do it at home before she goes.
There are videos. Susie's saying there are videos, so you could kind of preview those videos and know what we're doing, or start working at home. Because I would say the thing that I would recommend that you take with you, if you have tons of printed photos, you could work through photos. So we do paper first, because the reason we do paper first is because once you get your paper organized, you can see the value of being organized, right? We use paper in almost every project. So being able to go to that and understand the 4-section system and how easy it is helpful, because it keeps you motivated going through the other things. And the second thing we usually do is photographs, because people have so many photos, whether they're digital or printed, that they need to work on. So the digital photos be easy for you to take with you, obviously. And then the printed photos would probably be the other thing. So depending on what you're trying to, how much stuff you want to carry with you when you go. And then the other thing is, you may just have a bin or tub or box or something that's all embellishments, right? So whatever is manageable for you to take with you to Florida. But I would definitely say you could do something like photos while you're there, and especially because they're digital. And then again, you can pre-watch some of the older Get Organized challenges and kind of know what we're into. And like I said, there's going to be some changes, but the basic premise and how things work is going to stay the same. All right. So I think that kind of wraps it up. So hopefully, if you've had a chance, I had another question about this. Sorry. So this is the 6x6 paper cube, and someone asked me how tall it was. And it's 5 inches in the back, and I mean the front, and it's 6 inches in the back. It's slanted. And the thing to keep in mind is that it's designed so the paper sticks up over the top. So if you're using it somewhere where you, like a low shelf, if that's why you want to know the height of it, keep in mind that if you're using the tab divider pockets, they're going to go, the actual height is going to be I believe 7.5 inches, or because that's how tall they are. I don't know. I just didn't take that out. Some days your brain works and some days it doesn't. That's just why. That's why it happened that way. Okay, yeah, 7.5 inches. So you really need 7.5 inches of clearance if you're using the tab divider pockets. Oh, come on. If you're using the tab divider pockets, because they stick up taller. And then again, your paper pads are mostly not 6x6. Some manufacturers make actual, but even like, so you can see Stephanie's are like 6.5, the Stamps of Life. So you want to make sure not only the height of the box, but the height of the things sticking out the top of it are going to fit in the space that you want. Now, normally there's, you know, most things close up in the TT line, like Fat Files and Buddy Bags. So the top is in the dimension, but that's a little bit different thing. All right, so I think that's it. You have any questions left for me, Susie?
I think you got it.
Okay, so I will try to get a list up of what is going to be on sale on the Craft House on the 4th. And then I'm sure that Leanne is pulling a winner as we speak. Teresa says she's using her winter break to organize her dies and stamps. Oh, I'll be right there with you, Teresa. Using Totally Tiffany stuff that she purchased earlier. Okay, I don't see any more questions. All right, we got a drum roll for our winner, Barbara Missbach Sibley. Barbara, you are this week's winner with $25 Totally Tiffany shopping spree. If you are not a member of Club Inspire, please join Club Inspire first and then send an email to prizes with an S at crafterscompanion.com and say, I'm the big winner. And they will add that $25 to your account so that you can shop away whenever you decide what you need. Maybe you want to save it. Well, you probably won't have it there. Little caveat, they're not back until Tuesday the 3rd. So they may not have the winner's credits deposited by the sale on Wednesday the 4th. So you may not get that for sale day, but it will end up there. I promise eventually we will make sure that you get your money, but please keep in mind they're on holiday until the 3rd. So getting things in before. And we can all just be jealous that we don't get European style holidays here in the good old USA. All right, my crafty friends, thanks so much for joining me today. I will see all of you next Tuesday. Remember, we're going to have that new list that Barbara requested, how to tidy up your craft room. And if you see it loaded to a weird place, Life in the Wick, it is okay to download. That's just my regular website. All right, my friends, thanks for tuning in. I'll see all of you next week.